Alright guys, today I'm going to take you through our basic lower body weight warm-up. So this is a great warm-up you can use even if you're not actually working out that day, because you can, it's just a good way to get your joints moving, get your body sliding and gliding, get all these, especially the lower body joints, ready, prepared to do whatever the workout is for the day. And so this is a follow along video, and so I got a timer running and you can kind of follow along with it. I'm not going to do the full 2 rounds or the full time of everything once we get into more of the circuits, but you can follow along with the exact amount of timings for everything else. So to start out, we're going to have an active Samson. What this is you get a lunge forward, and then you reach your hands up, and you lean toward that side. You come back, lunge. You don't have to rest your knee on the ground. You just get down low, relatively close to the ground. Okay, I'm doing this for 30 seconds. Follow along with me. Really try to keep this rib cage down and extend those arms ahead and push that hip forward as you stretch out that anterior front side of the hip. Okay, now we're going to move into an active Spider-Man. So I'm going to get down into a deep lunge here. I'm just going to push my hips down to the ground, keeping that back knee flexed. And I'm going to reach the same side hand as the leg I have forward. I'm going to reach it up. So nice little twist, a little bit more extension of the hip. I come back, switch my feet, and twist. Switch my feet, and twist. Nice little stretch here. Just getting 30 seconds. Switching back and forth. Now we're going to move into a Frankenstein. We're going to do 30 seconds each side. Get our hamstrings nice and loosened up here. So I'm just going to reach out my left hand. I'm going to kick it with my right foot, keeping my leg as straight as I can. It's going to get you nice and warmed up. A warm-up is meant to get you sweaty. You should be warm. You should feel hot. We gotta get your blood moving towards your joints and your muscles, especially for a high-intensity workout. Otherwise, your body is not ready to jump into that kind of exercise and intensity. You jump into it cold, you might more likely get hurt, or mentally just really struggle, because then your heart is gonna have to really make up for it and really try to get the blood moving out. Okay, so now we're going to move into some arm circles. We've got to get the upper body a little bit warm. We're just doing 15 seconds backwards, and then we'll do 15 seconds forwards for a total of 30 seconds each side. Really try to reach toward that end range all the way behind you. It's okay if your torso twists a little bit. Go. Now I'm going to go backwards on the other arm. Starting to feel really good and loosened up. Switch going forward. Nice. All right. Okay, now we're going to switch to we're going to get into a high plank, like so. Now I'm just doing shoulder taps for 30 seconds. So ready, go. The goal is not to rock your body from side to side, but keep a solid plank position, just touching that opposite shoulder. Just give a little tap and come back down. Doing good. The less you can rock your body, the more you're going to get your core warmed up. Okay, come down, shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to do 30 seconds of push up to down dog. This is what I'm looking for here. I'm going to get into a push up position. If you can, do a full push up, chest to the ground, back up, and then you push your hips up into the sky. Push those heels down to the floor. Get a nice little stretch. Not about trying to get tons of push-ups here. We're just trying to get our shoulders and our hips and hamstrings and ankles all warmed up here. If the push-up is too hard, totally fine, just put your knees down. Do a push-up this way, and then you can still come up into a down dog. Okay, let's get one more. Alright, let's come back up. Now, what we're gonna have is a slow squat. So it's just practicing that squat position, getting a feel for what that position needs to be for that day, because day to day our stance might need to change a little bit. So generally you want about shoulder width, so your hands pointing down straight into the middle of your foot. You can point your toes out slightly if you need to, but keep them as straight as you can. So I'm going to put my hands forward, and I'm going to push my hips back like I'm sitting on a chair. Push those knees out as I sit down as low as I can. Keep your eyes up, forward, chest forward, and stand up. We're doing this just for 30 seconds. We're going down slow and up slow. Really feel those knees tracking with your feet. Those feet flat on the floor. We are practicing this position, actively working on it as we go down, pushing those knees out as I come up. All right. Now what we're gonna do is call it a skip. Okay, so this is kind of like skipping in place. We're gonna get a little arm motion with it. So it looks like this. Opposite arm goes up with the opposite leg. Left hand to right. Right hand to left. Just getting a little hop as you yank your knee up towards your chest. That opposite hand goes up with it. Okay, we got ourselves moving a little bit, we got the heart rate up a little bit. Now what we're doing is we're just gonna do 2 rounds of this. I'll show you the exercises real quick. All it is we're just doing a glute bridge. Here, you can keep the timer going if you want to. So a glute bridge, I'm gonna get my heels up close to my butt. I'm gonna keep my hands down here, just kind of neutrally hanging out there. I'm gonna keep my rib cage down towards the floor, pushing that arch of my back to the floor. I'm gonna push my hips up and come back down. There, my back should never arch during this whole part of my back should touch the floor. Push up, squeeze your butt, keep your feet flat on the floor. Back down. I'm getting 10 reps of this. And after that, you'll get a 30-second squat hold. Just kind of get down here, see what that feels like, as low as you can. Okay, if you can only hang out here, if this is as low as you can go with a good squat position with feet flat on the ground without crashing down, then great. If you can sink all the way down here below parallel, that's ultimately what we want to try to aim for. After 30 seconds is up, you'll get 10 single leg glute bridge. So what that looks like, I'm going to stick a foot up, and I'm doing the same thing. Keep my back in contact with the floor, press the hips up, back down, press the hips up, back down. I'm going to do 10 each side here. And then I'll just come back into a squat hold. We're really practicing this position so you can find and improve that position each day. Really pushing those knees out, finding a way to keep your toes engaged and your feet flat on the floor. After we get 30 seconds there, I'm going to get a side plank clamshell. Just doing 10 each side. So a side plank I'm here, and I'm just going to be coming out here. So my knee is on the ground, found my position there, and I'm just pushing this hip out, rotating that there, getting 10 each side. And then I'm going to get another squat hold here for 30 seconds. And then what I'm going to do is just an up down. An up down, all it is I'm going to jump my feet back, jump my feet forward, and jump up. That's all it is there. So you do 2 rounds of that. So with a running clock, so you can get a 30-second squat hold as you go between sets. After that, we're going to get a couch stretch, a pigeon stretch, and an adductor stretch. Okay? So the couch stretch is I got a pillow here. I'm going to put the top of my foot on the wall, my knee down on the pillow as close to the wall as I can get it. And I'm just going to come in here. And the goal here is I just want to lean into this, push my hips forward as far as I can. I'm just going to hold this for 30 seconds each side. After I get that done, I'm going to get into a pigeon stretch. So with a pigeon stretch, I'm going to focus on here. I'm going to get a 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle back here. And I'm just going to put my hands on the floor and keep my back straight as I just push and hinge from my hips to push my chest down towards this leg. 30 seconds each side. After I get that, I'm actually going to get into a little bit of an adductor stretch. You can use a pillow if you want to. I'm going to get here. I'm sticking this leg way out here, and I'm just going to sit back into this stretch right here. Keeping a neutral spine. You should feel a stretch along the inside of your thigh. 30 seconds each side. And that's what we're going for. That is our basic lower body warm up.